China's People's Liberation Army, PLA, recently announced 3 days of military exercises, which it named United Sharp Sword, around Taiwan. This move comes amid Beijing's anger over Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen's meeting with Speaker of the United States House of Representatives Kevin McCarthy in California. The PLA's Eastern Theater Command released a brief statement stating that it would carry out combat readiness patrols until April 10, which involves exercises in the Taiwan Strait to the north and south of the island, as well as in the sea and airspace to the east of the island. China, which claims Taiwan as its own and has not ruled out the use of force to achieve its aims, said that the drills are a serious warning to the Taiwan independence separatist forces and external forces' collusion and provocation, and it is a necessary action to defend national sovereignty and territorial integrity. Tsai had met McCarthy on the return leg of a tour of the self-ruled island's 2 remaining formal allies in Central America and arrived home on Friday. Beijing had threatened retaliation even before the meeting took place, and the Shandong aircraft carrier was spotted sailing through Taiwan's southeastern waters on its way to the Western Pacific hours before the meeting was scheduled on Wednesday. Taiwan's defense ministry said it was monitoring the situation and would respond appropriately to defend the island's security. China's response to Tsai's U.S. visit, however, was seen as more muted than when McCarthy's predecessor, Nancy Pelosi, visited Taiwan last August, which saw China stage days of war games around Taiwan, including firing missiles across the island. On Friday, Beijing announced tightened sanctions against Xiao Bai-kim, Taiwan's de facto ambassador to the U.S., and the Ronald Reagan Library where Tsai and McCarthy met, but held back from a more overt response. Analysts suggest the initial more muted reaction to the Tsai-McCarthy meeting could have been because it took place in the U.S. or because it coincided with a visit to Beijing by French President Emmanuel Macron and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. The PLA drills began hours after Macron and von der Leyen, whose focus was the Ukraine crisis, had left. During the drills, a Chinese warship in seas facing the Taiwan Strait fired multiple rounds of artillery in the Luoyang Bay area on the coast of Fujian Province, about 50 kilometers (30 miles) northwest of the Matsu Islands, which are near the mainland but controlled by Taiwan. Smoke and muzzle flares were visible from the stern of the vessel as sailors fired shells towards targets on land and water. Meanwhile, Taiwan's defense ministry reported that 42 Chinese planes and 8 ships crossed the strait's median line, which normally serves as an unofficial buffer between the two sides, on Saturday morning. As tensions continue to rise, a delegation of U.S. legislators, led by Michael McCaul, chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, is currently visiting Taiwan and met Tsai for lunch on Saturday. McCaul said the delegation was in Taipei to show its support for the democratic island, while Tsai said the people of Taiwan loved democracy and sought peace. The U.S. does not have formal diplomatic relations with Taiwan but is the island's biggest supporter internationally. It is also bound by law to provide the island with the means to defend itself. This situation remains delicate, as China has shown its desire to eventually reunite Taiwan with the mainland, while Taiwan maintains that it is an independent, sovereign state. The U.S. has repeatedly expressed its support for Taiwan and has strengthened its ties with the island in recent years, much to China's chagrin. As the world watches the latest developments unfold, it is crucial for all parties involved to exercise restraint and seek peaceful solutions to this long-standing issue. For more videos and insightful analysis, subscribe to our channel.